Games left here at the Metrodome, and all year long the Twins have been flashing back with great memories of what's happened here at the Metrodome. Along with the happy memories are some sad ones as well. In March of 2006, Twins territory lost one of its all-time greats and all-time favorites when Kirby Puckett passed away. On March 12th, in a memorial service at the Metrodome, thousands of his fans and friends gathered to say goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's nearly impossible to put into words what Kirby meant to the Minnesota Twins, to baseball, and to the upper Midwest. So where words fail to paint the picture, I ask you to look around the stadium tonight at the picture each and every one of you is painting. This is definitely a remarkable tribute to a remarkable man.
And let's all thank the Lord for having brought us someone as valuable and as great as Kirby Puckett.
The memorial service for Kirby Puckett is number 16 on the countdown of the Minnesota Twins' top 100 Metrodome moments. This afternoon, the Twins will try to make it 7 wins in a row. They'll try to get to within a game of the first-place Tigers when we come back. Climbing ever closer to first place. This homestand started with a couple of losses against Oakland, and a couple of ugly losses at that. And then the Twins won the series finale against Oakland a week ago today, and they have not lost since. So the Twins hope to continue the momentum and continue the pursuit of the Tigers. Here's Detroit's Menard's batting order. Curtis Granderson leading off. Placido Polanco trying to do what he can to spark this Tiger offense. Then Marcus Thames, Miguel Cabrera, Maglio Ordonez, Carlos Guillen, Brandon Inge, Gerald Laird, and Ramon Santiago.
Andy Schmeltz, Countryside Volkswagen on Scott Baker's scouting report, making his 30th start of the year, his third against the Tigers. He's been very steady since June 4th, where he is 11-2 with a 3.52 ERA and 20 starts. And the Twins, most importantly, they have won 6 of his last 7 starts. Baker, during those last 7 starts, 4-1 with an ERA just under 3.
Curtis Granderson getting the start in the leadoff spot for the Tigers.
Not only the Twins have won 7 of the last 10, the Tigers have only won 3 of their last 10. And they've kind of allowed the Twins to get back into this race.
Twins haven't been 2 games back since the end of July. Strike 1 and now ball 1. Baker with a strong finish could finish in the neighborhood of 15-16 wins. He would need to win his remaining starts. 14 games left for the Twins, counting today. There's a check swing and a 2-1 count to Granderson.
Yeah, the changeup right there. Baker, opponents hitting .242 off of Scott Baker this year. He has allowed 25 home runs, but left-handed hitters hitting only .217.
Fouled back with a high fastball, and it's 2-2.
And Granderson 10 for 40 lifetime against Scott Baker. He has faced Baker more than any Detroit Tiger. He does have 4 home runs against Baker. Guy you want to keep off the bases. He and the next hitter on deck, Polanco.
Foul back. After today's game, the Twins go to Chicago. The Tigers head to Cleveland. They have an off day tomorrow and then play 3 in Cleveland, 3 in Chicago. So this is the first leg of a tough road trip for Detroit. And then they finish the last week at home. 2-2 to the Tiger leadoff batter. And he came inside and missed to fill the count.
Yeah, Granderson with that little bit of an open stance has some power. 27 home runs. See where he stands in that batter's box.
And he swings at a high fastball and misses one away. DQ defense for the Twins. Yesterday was Brian Busher at third. Today it'll be Matt Tolbert. Young, Span, and Kubel have been the fixtures in the outfield now. Tolbert at third, Cabrera, Punto up the middle, Kadire at first. And Joe Mauer came to the ballpark today and said, I'm good to go, and he's behind the plate. And Baker gets a strikeout of Granderson, and now he'll face Polanco.
One thing I've noticed about Baker really since June, you know, he started the season on a disabled list. Right here, watch this little extra pop. A lot of hitters saying that fastball kind of sneaks up on him, and Granderson just a little tardy, just showing that his arm is healthy again.
Fouled back, 1-1.
Polanco in his 5th season with the Tigers, a career .306 hitter. Been swinging a pretty good bat since the All-Star break. An average at .282.
2-1.
But only 5 for 30 lifetime against Scott Baker. Baker in his career against the Tigers, he's 4 wins, 3 losses, an ERA at 4.40. This is his 15th career start against Detroit.
And Polanco pulls it into the left field corner. Young fields it on the second hop. Polanco hesitates as Young drops the ball. And now Polanco goes to second base. I'm surprised that Polanco wasn't rounding first, heading for second anyway. And then he looked and saw Young struggle getting control of the ball and will go on what should be an error on Delmon Young.
And it is. It'll be a base hit for Polanco. That inside swing right there opening up quick on that inside pitch. Delmon going over, and then in the exchange just lost the grip of the baseball. So Delmon Young charged with an error, his 4th of the year.
Here's Marcus Thames. High fastball and a swing and a miss, and for whatever reason Baker's getting hitters. Maybe it's that little extra giddy up, did you call it, at the end of that fastball? He's getting hitters to swing at pitches that sail out of the strike zone.
Well, he's a pitcher that's a fly ball pitcher anyway. We've seen him get up in the strike zone. That's why he's allowed 25 home runs. But really early in the ball game, you say that's a great pitch right there. And those are the pitches you need to have called. Chris Guccione behind the plate.
So instead of it being 0-2, it's 1-1. And a check swing and a strike.
Yeah, that's the slider right there. So they kind of evened it out as Marcus Thames kind of throwing the bat up in the air, saying, "Boy, okay."
So 1-2. Thames a designated hitter, and the Tiger lineup really scuffling to score runs here in the final month of the season. Back to the fastball for strike 3.
Well, even Joe Mauer, even though he sat away, Scott Baker put something a little extra on that fastball. Watch where Mauer's setting up. He's sitting away, but that ball running back in on Thames. So 2 big strikeouts already for Scott Baker. Baker came into this ball game averaging over 7 strikeouts per 9, but less, almost 2 walks, right around 2 walks per 9. Excellent control.
Here's Cabrera with a runner at second and 2 away. Nice block by Mauer. You look at Cabrera's numbers, and in a way, you can tell from his numbers that this has not been a very efficient lineup for the Tigers. He's hitting .333, 30 home runs, hitting in the middle of this lineup, yet just 92 runs batted in. You see a .333 average with 30 home runs in a lineup that's been consistent. You'd expect to see 110, 115 RBIs or more. Bouncer to short, and a chest-high hop for Cabrera over to Cuddyer. And Baker pitches around the 1-out single and error. Cast of characters, players who've been in the lineup for almost all of the 6-game winning streak. Span, Cabrera, and Mauer, who's really turned it on here in September. Jason Kugel, Michael Cuddyer, Delman Young in the middle of the lineup, and then Harris, Tolbert, and Punto. And
the Schmelz Countryside Soft scouting report on left-handed pitcher Nate Robertson, making just his 4th start of the year. He had elbow surgery earlier this year, making his 26th appearance of the season, just looking for his 2nd win. 1-2 on the year with a 5.37 ERA. He's replacing Jarrett Washburn in the starting rotation, and he does have 8 career wins against the Twins. That's the most against any opponent at the major league level.
Denard Span takes a strike on the inside corner. Span again punished the Tiger pitching staff yesterday, hitting .467 against them this year. It was his base hit. They'll appeal, and strike 2. It was his base hit that came in front of the lost fly ball that opened the door for the 5-run 8th inning yesterday. And Robertson gets ahead of the leadoff man quickly, 0-2.
Yeah, Robertson with a fastball in the low 90s, hard slider. Then he'll throw little cutters in on right-handers, and then a changeup.
Around the hands, 1-2.
One thing we've seen over the years, Robertson making his 23rd career start against the Twins. He will work inside, both left-handers and right-handers, with that fastball. He's changed his delivery a little bit.
Fastball down and in, and he gets strike 3. Span is gone on strikes. One away. Here's the DQ defense for the Tigers. Veterans across the outfield. Guillen, Granderson, and Ordonez. Inge made a great play late in the game last night. Santiago Polanco up the middle. Cabrera at first. Laird behind the plate. So a lot of veterans in this Tiger team. And Jim Leyland deciding to ride it out here in September as best he can with a seasoned lineup. Cabrera takes ball 1. Mentioned Robertson's fastball, at times clocked in the low 90s. It's come back to him this year after his elbow surgery. He had 4 masses taken out of his left elbow. They're not chips so much as just fibrous growths in his elbow. And it became a chronic problem. The velocity on his fastball kept diminishing. They couldn't figure out why until they opened up the elbow and took him out.
Yeah, he had that at the end of June and then went through the rehab process in August and pitched very good down in AAA, and that's where he ended up changing his delivery a little bit.
Cabrera rolls a single up the middle for the first hit for Minnesota. And that'll bring up Mauer.
Well, you fall behind an account and you have to come in with a fastball. Cabrera got that fastball and hit that roller right back up the middle.
Mauer hit his 4th home run of the year against Detroit against Justin Verlander into the upper deck to tie the game at 1. And up until the 8th inning, that was about it for the Twins against Verlander, who was outstanding yesterday. Mauer takes a fastball and strike 1.
Mauer over the last 6 ball games hitting .611. 11 hits in his last 18 at bats with a couple home runs. Hit a home run off of Verlander yesterday in his first at bat.
At .373, a 16-point lead over Ichiro Suzuki in the batting race. Fouled back with Mauer taking aim at the upper deck again with that swing. 2 strikes. Cabrera with a huge jump. He had that base stolen. And Mauer, of course, with 2 strikes, had to protect the plate and lifted it foul.
Oh, watch a jump right here by Cabrera. As soon as Robertson moved, Cabrera took off, and Mauer on that high breaking ball fouled it off.
Twins were thrown out twice yesterday by Gerald Laird, who leads the American League in throwout percentage. Well, there wouldn't have been much he could have done with that had Mauer taken a ball with Cabrera taking off. To left, Guillen plays it on a hop. Mauer has a hit. Cabrera hesitates and then goes to third. Mauer drops a single to left, and the Twins have a threat in the first.
Well, your typical Joe Mauer hit. Robertson pitching him away, and Joe just going with the pitch. The breaking ball right off the end of the bat lands in front of Carlos Guillen and almost hops over his head right here. Guillen has to go get it, and Cabrera very smartly sees that little jump that Guillen had to go through, scoots over to third.
Here's Jason Kubel, and he takes a fastball for strike 1. Kubel hitting cleanup looking for his first ever hit against Nate Robertson.
Be a good spot for it.
1-1.
Yeah, 0 for 11 against Robertson. Kubel getting that big hit in the 5-run bottom of the 8th in yesterday's win over the Tigers.
1-1. And strike 2. Robertson in the rotation now because of the physical breakdown of Jared Washburn, who's got a knee problem. Earlier put into the rotation because of the elbow issues for Armando Galarraga. Little roller toward the hole. A run will score with Polanco throwing out Kubel, and the Twins get the first lead.
Well, Robertson tried to come in like he struck out Denard Span, but Kubel fought it off and found that spot right to the right of Cabrera, who kind of held up right there at first base. And it was Polanco that had to make a nice play to get Kubel at first. So Cabrera scores the first run of the ball game for the Twins, and Kubel picking up his 87th RBI.
Well, here is Michael Cuddyer. And Cuddyer takes strike 1. Another big home run for Cuddyer yesterday. A 3-run home run that broke the game open. And of course, most of his Twins career has been spent in right field. But boy, since Justin Morneau went out, Cuddyer pops it up near the Tiger dugout. Cabrera has a long run. It's back in the seats. You look for somebody to step up when you lose a big bat like Morneau's, and Cuddyer's doing just that.
Boy, he really has since he's taken over at first base. Cuddyer hitting .417 with 4 home runs and 13 RBI. Big 3-run home run in yesterday's 5-run 8th inning.
Two strikes. Robertson to Cuddyer. And foul back. Robertson came inside with a fastball. Jared Washburn, whom the Tigers acquired prior to the trading deadline, has had all sorts of issues with Detroit. He hadn't pitched particularly well, and now physically a knee problem that might end his Tiger career. Be a free agent after this season. And Robertson's had some issues too. He had an MRI of a inflammation in his groin area. They found nothing wrong. He was put on some anti-inflammatory medication and had a bullpen session the other day and is ready to go today. Tap foul, still 2 strikes.
Yeah, 9 days between starts for Robertson, and I think, Rick Knapp, the pitching coach, and Jim Leyland, they're hoping maybe to get 5, maybe 6 innings out of Robertson here. Again, making only his 4th start. The longest outing he's gone is 6 innings. That against the Cleveland Indians in early September.
This will be his 20th pitch of the first inning. Checked his swing, we think. 1-2. Mike Winters, the first base umpire.
Well, the high fastball right here, and does Cuddyer hold up? Get the barrel of the bat back.
Slider just missing that inside corner. Robertson had his hands on his hips for a while. Might have been a fastball that just missed the inside corner.
This is the fastball right here, and you can see that so far we saw Baker not get called on a fastball away. And right there, Robertson, very good pitch, but not called.
And Cuddyer battling Robertson now with a 2-2 count. Quite a change from a year ago when Cuddyer at this time of the year was really struggling to get back in the lineup after one injury after another.
He had the injury, finger injuries, then the ankle.
pulled the string on him and got him. But the Twins get a couple of hits, one from Joe Bauer in the first run of the game. A school nickname?
There you go. I'll circle for you.
Well, I could have done that. That's Wheaton and Browns Valley. That's my old turf out in the western part of the state. Scott Baker stranded a runner in scoring position. Carl Pavano did a good job of that yesterday. And now in the second, Maglio Ordonez will lead things off. He'll be followed by Carlos Guillen and Brandon Inge. Up high, ball one. Ron Gardner was asked of Baker today and what has been the turnaround for him, or the reason for the turnaround, and his manager says it's simply just a matter of confidence for Baker. Things started going his way, and specifically he said that Baker now, when he gets ahead of a hitter, and let's hope he gets ahead of Ordonez on this 1-1 pitch. There it is, 1-2. So Baker now in a situation like this is able to bounce a breaking ball in the dirt. And for whatever reason early in the season, according to the manager, he wasn't capable of doing that.
Yeah, biggest thing, he's now making the adjustment.
This one flipped to right field. And Kubel is there near the track to make the catch.
And a good pitch right there. Breaking ball down and away off the end of the bat of Ordonez.
You can visit twinsbaseball.com today and secure your all Metrodome medallion collection. Only 5,000 are being sold. And they feature the 18 members of the Wendy's All Metrodome team. And they're available for you right now at twinsbaseball.com. And while you're there, you can get tickets for the Friday night and Saturday night games against Kansas City to wrap up the regular season. Sunday's game is sold out. Twinsbaseball.com, where baseball's always on. And there's strike one to Carlos Guillen.
I think one more thing about Baker, too. You look at his first 2 months. Again, he started the season on a disabled list. But over the first 2 months, he was 2-6 with an ERA of 6.34. And he allowed 14 home runs in 9 starts. Well, over the last 20 starts, he's allowed only 11 home runs. So he's doing a better job at keeping the ball in the ballpark. And there's the first half and second half, but really the first half was really the first 2 months of inconsistent pitching, and now he's really been sharp.
It was suggested to Ron Gardenhire that maybe Baker was feeling the pressure of signing the big contract the Twins signed him to, but the manager didn't buy into that, just saying, you know, he had a bad shoulder and he took a while for his season to get on track.
Exactly.
Swing and a foul. Well, for whatever reason, he has gotten his season turned around, and for that matter, the Twins' rotation right now looks formidable. They were able to skip Jeff Manship because of the off day this week. Manship is slotted to pitch one of the games in Chicago before an off day again on Thursday of next week. This week, I guess. 1-2 to Guillen. Breaking ball down and in, and another strikeout for Baker.
Strikeout number 3 in the ball game for Baker. Able to strike out Granderson and Marcus Thames on fastballs in the first inning, and then that slider underneath that swing. Well, left-handers like to go fishing after that ball.
There's Brandon Inge. And a fastball down the heart of the plate.
Well, you know what? When his arm wasn't really feeling good, so many times I remember I said you have to stay back, stay on top of that baseball, and you can see him right there just trying to get on top of the ball, better follow through, a little more bend in that back for Baker. Remember the first couple months he was standing straight up, and I remember I said, look at the center field camera, you see number 30 all the way through his delivery. Now he's stretching out a little bit better.
Outside 2-1.
Baker turning 28 years old yesterday, so happy belated birthday to Scott Baker in his 5th season with the Twins.
3-1. Inge would be followed by Gerald Laird. Be tempted to say, well, this is the biggest start of his career, but remember, he pitched such a big game and a good game against the Royals in game 162 last year. Oh, Mauer took that foul tip off the mask or the helmet, it appeared.
Yeah, Joe's going to try to walk it off right here. Inge getting a piece of this.
Oh, right
off
shoulder.
the right shoulder.
And then you have to check, yeah, he's hitting 373, not 273. You take such a tremendous beating back there.
Well, you think, you have that chest protector, but that ball, once it comes off that bat, it's probably about 100 miles an hour right into that shoulder blade.
3-2 to Inge. Foul back over our heads. Inge made the All-Star team, part of the Home Run Derby, got shut out in the Home Run Derby, and he's had a tough time in the second half because of a serious knee issue. Another foul back.
Yeah, you have to credit this young man right here for hanging in there. I mean, a lot of guys might say, I'm going to get that knee scoped and, look forward to next year, but he wants to play. This guy's a gamer.
Another 3-2 pitch. Baker's 34th of the ball game. Fly ball right field. Looks harmless enough. Kubel tracks it, catches it. A 1-2-3 second, 5 in a row set down by Baker. Robertson gave up a couple of hits. And Orlando Cabrera's alert advancement from first to third on Mauer's single led to a run on a ground ball. Here's Young. That hits the knees on the outside corner. 1 strike. Two strikes.
I mentioned Robertson before. I remember Robertson always kind of stepped back behind that pitching rubber, but when he went down to AAA Toledo, he kind of changed his delivery from just stepping to the side, almost like he's in a kind of a runner on first base type of position.
Popped up near first, and Cabrera in foul ground makes the catch, 1 away. You can ask us a question online at carsoup.com/baseball. And today, Sarah Stevens of St. Paul wondering, is Gerald Laird baseball's toughest catcher to run on? Well, he was yesterday.
He's thrown out 36 of 86 potential base stealers. That's 42%. 43%.
Here's Brendan Harris, who's had good success against Robertson, so he is today's designated hitter. And another foul pop. Laird yesterday threw out the 2 fastest runners the Twins have.
Well, he's got a cannon for an arm. You can see where that throw was, right on the bag. And Gomez right there, thrown out.
He's got a peculiar way of getting the ball there. Most baseball players, pitchers included, will throw the ball with 2 fingers. He throws it with 3. Up and away, 2-1. He's very, very accurate. In the case of Span yesterday, he thought he got a good walking lead and could steal. Twins were hoping Gomez would hold at first till he got into a hit and run count, but then Gomez took off and he was thrown out. 3-1 now to Harris.
Harris 7 for 17 lifetime against Robertson with a couple home runs. One reason that he is DHing here this afternoon.
Foul back. 3-2. Harris has seen his playing time dwindle, with Tolbert doing a good job defensively and having some productive at bats at third. Yesterday, Brian Busher got the start at third base, so Harris gets the call in the DH spot today. Breaking ball gets Harris to strike out, as it did Cuddyer, 2 down.
And Robertson picks up his 3rd strikeout, so both starters with 3 strikeouts here early in the ballgame. Good hard breaking ball right here.
To 2 away, and that'll bring up Matt Tolbert. That's to center field and down for a hit right off the end of the bat, and Tolbert's aboard with a single. And that'll get Punto to the plate. Robertson giving up his 3rd single. And we'll see whether Tolbert might be asked to try to test Laird's arm and Robertson's move to first.
Tolbert 5 for 5 in stolen base attempts.
Punto takes inside, a ball.
Robertson making his 200th major league appearance here this afternoon. This is his 167th major league start. Originally came up with the Florida Marlins, traded over to the Tigers.
Nice catch by Laird, and it's 2-0. Some who think Laird, because of the throwout percentage and the way he's defended his position, should get some consideration for a Gold Glove award. Two and one. Well, now here is the count when a lot of teams might send the runner at first. Punto, though, the number 9 hitter, and some managers would prefer to let this at bat play out, and then you start the next inning if an out is recorded with your leadoff man leading off. And Robertson steps off the rubber. Tolbert goes, got a great jump. It's ball 3, and Tolbert will steal and nearly overslid the base. He went into second so hard, feet first. For a split second, he came off the base.
Well, we just talked about Laird's arm. Great throw by Laird, but it was Tolbert who got the jump off of Robertson to steal his 6th base and get in the scoring position. See the jump that Tolbert has, and the throw was a very strong throw. Polanco right there kept the glove on Tolbert, but Tolbert able to reach back and keep his hand on the bag.
And now Punto draws a walk to fill first base, and the Twins are threatening with 2 out in the inning. Remember, Tolbert used to be a head first slider. He went into first base with a head first slide last year and broke his thumb.
Yeah, it looked like he was able to keep that right hand on the bag, while Polanco did what he needed to do, is keep that glove on that potential base stealer.
Let's see if Span can produce here with 2 on and 2 out. Up high, ball 1. Ron Gardenhire again said over the weekend that ideally for next year, Span will have 1 position instead of being a utility outfielder. You say utility outfielder and you think, well, that probably is somebody who's going to get 200 and 250 at bats. Span coming into the game today has 525 at bats. Only Michael Kadire and Orlando Cabrera have more at bats. And now it's 3-0 with Cabrera on deck.
Now Robertson falling behind in the count.
And a strike. Span with 162 hits. He's walked 65 times. He has an on-base percentage of .390. A very patient hitter. According to that, the most patient hitter the Twins have.
Let's see what happens right here. Maybe a 3-1 fastball. Span, I'm sure, looking fastball. Got an inner half and swung through it. Most time hitters are going to look away. That ball inside, almost the same pitch that struck him out in the first inning.
3-2 with 2 away. The runners will go. And Span again on an inside fastball, swings and misses, and Robertson survives the threat in the second.
welcome back. Twins have a 1-0 lead, and Nate Robertson did a great job of pitching to Nard Span. Fell behind on him, and then that's a 3-1 fastball. And then he goes back inside again, even maybe a little bit further, and Span swinging through it.
So Baker still has a 1-run lead. It's Laird, Santiago, and Granderson facing him here in the third. Laird fouls it off Mauer again. Where'd that one get him?
Looks like it got him right in the mask. Boom, bingo. Wow.
So one off the right shoulder last inning. Now one right in the grill. 1 strike to Laird. 1-1. Tigers have actually struggled on the road more than the Twins have, which isn't to say that the Twins have been a great road team. They played much better in the second half on the road. And they'll have to do well on the road if they're going to pass the Tigers. After today, there are just 3 home games left and 10 road games, including 4 in Detroit. Tigers play the last week at home against the Twins and White Sox. Grounded to third. Tolbert gobbles it up. 1 down. And that'll bring up Santiago. Santiago getting the start at short. Adam Everett played short the first 2 games.
Santiago, a switch hitter, is a left-handed hitter, hitting .259. 6 of his 7 home runs coming from this side of the plate. He jumps on that first pitch and lines a base hit up the middle.
Second hit for the Tigers. Santiago aboard and Granderson to the plate.
Andy Van Slyke, the first base coach, discussing matters with Santiago at first base.
He looks like he could still play. Here's Granderson, struck out swinging in the first. Went after a high fastball. Foul back. In Granderson and Span, you probably have the top 2 leadoff hitters in the American League Central. They're different types of players. Granderson with more power than Span. Span more selective at the plate, doesn't strike out as much. And because he struggled so much against left-handed starters and pitchers, Granderson is no longer a full-time leadoff man. He's had a tough year against lefties, and we saw it the other night with Dunsing on the mound. When a lefty goes, Granderson will hit 7th in the lineup.
They're hitting just .177 against left-handed pitchers.
Span, of course, has hit left-handers better than right-handers this year. A little pop-up near second base. And Cabrera, that was Punto actually, out number 2.
Now 2 ball hogs right here. You can see kind of bumping into each other, but the ball falling in Punto's glove.
Here's Polanco. The average keeps climbing for Polanco. And a strike. He's one of those guys, to me, Bert, Polanco, you can't help but admire him for what he does at the plate. If the pitch is outside, he'll have success hitting the ball to right field. We saw him pull the ball in the first inning.
You're just all around very good hitter. Falling behind right here. Baker able to get ahead 0-2. Doesn't strike out much, doesn't walk much, but usually puts the ball in play. Polanco in his 12th major league season, came up with the Cardinals, played with the Phillies, now in his 5th season with the Tigers.
And how you described him is just about what the job description would be for a second place hitter. Contact hitter, doesn't strike out much, and now he pulls that pitch up and in into the Twins dugout. And Jose Morales had the catcher's mitt on. Gomez giving the sign of the cross. Two strikes to Polanco. How about the crowds in this series? I think the fans have caught on to the notion that this Twins team is pretty serious about putting on a good finishing kick and maybe stealing a division title.
Yeah, over 43,000 in yesterday's ball game, and they kind of sat on their hands. Maybe in the first inning, Mauer hit the home run. They applauded, and then Justin Verlander kind of kept the crowd out of it until that 8th inning. And then they went nuts.
Breaking ball, shades the outside corner. Baker with 3 shutout innings. Got a great read on the bases to score the go-ahead run.
Well, John Kelly right here, a defensive replacement, lost the ball, and then Cabrera, hustled out of the box after he saw that ball fall and made it over to second.
1-0 to Cabrera here, leading off the third. He'll be followed by Mauer and Kubel. And Robertson struggled with his control a little bit in the second inning, walking the number 9 hitter. And now he falls behind Cabrera 2-0. 2-1. Tigers filling a hole in the rotation with Robertson today. The White Sox still aren't sure, or at least they're not saying, who they're going to start in the series opener tomorrow in Chicago. 2-2. It was supposed to be DJ Carrasco, but he pitched a couple innings last night, so he's not going to start against the Twins tomorrow. Gavin Floyd was supposed to start, but now he's hurt for the White Sox. Popped up toward the shortstop. Santiago in front of the bag. Makes the catch, 1 away. And that'll bring up Mauer. This, of course, the last chance for Twins fans at home to see Mauer play to the final weekend of the season. And in the remaining 14 games, counting this game, if he can somehow manage 25 more hits, even though he missed all of April, he'll have 200 hits this season, which was unthinkable through April when he could not play.
Yeah, most hits he's had in a season, 181 when he won his first batting title back in 2006.
Bounce toward the right side. Easy play for Cabrera, and Robertson covers and gets Mauer by a step. 2 down. Here's some Target Field ticket information.
Hi, Jason Kubel here to let you know we have Target Field ticket plans for everyone, including those of you who want to sit in the outfield and catch home run balls. Call today to reserve your Target Field ticket plan.
Love seeing that little clip of video, that young boy catching a Kubel home run on the upper deck with his cap. And Kubel drove in the only run of the game so far with a little ground ball picked off by Polanco in the hole. He threw Kubel out at first, but Cabrera came in from third to make it 1-0. Big swing and a miss, 1-1. Kansas City leading Chicago 2-0 this afternoon. Two and one. Three and one with Kadair on deck. Kubel takes a 2-out walk. Twins put together a threat with 2 out in the second, but couldn't cash in, and we'll see where this walk leads us.
Robertson with his second walk of the ball game to go along with his 4 strikeouts.
Kadair struck out on a Robertson breaking pitch in the first inning. Twins have left a couple of men in scoring position on base. To left center, tagged pretty well. Granderson makes the catch on the edge of the track. So Kadair just missed another home run. It's still 1-0. Visit Progressive.com today. And by Comcast. Call 1-800-COMCAST to find out how to save big with the Comcast Triple Play. And the Twins leading 1-0. Here's the game reset. Orlando Cabrera scoring a first inning run, and Scott Baker's pitched well so far here this afternoon.
3 shutout innings so far.
High pop up right center field. Kubel tracking it. And a first pitch, quick first out here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, Baker with 48 pitches in the ball game. I'd like to send our condolences to the Larry Lavelco family. Passing Larry, a great Twins fan.
Here's Miguel Cabrera. And there's ball 1. If the Tigers hang on and win the division, you'd have to include Cabrera, I suppose, in any league MVP consideration or discussion.
I think you stick a guy like Cabrera and you know what you're going to get out of him out over the year. You're going to get 30 home runs. You're going to get over 100 RBI. You mentioned already, 92 RBI, only because the guys around him just aren't having the seasons that Cabrera sometimes is accustomed to. Aguilar Ordonez really hasn't done much this year. They have had that. They haven't really clicked, even though they have that 2-game lead over the Twins.
1-2. Cabrera out on strikes, 2 down.
A good fastball by Baker. He just threw that fastball right past Cabrera, picking up his 5th strikeout. Good fastball, outer half of the plate.
2 down, and that'll bring up Ordonez. I think what's happened to the Twins over the last week or so has increased the likelihood that Joe Mauer will win the league MVP. How much more valuable is Mauer, and are his numbers with Morneau out of the lineup, and to see the Twins jump back into the race now that Morneau is gone? I mean, that's the definition of being valuable to your team. They need someone like Mauer and Cuddyer to step up. Mauer has done that, and I think if anything the last week has really enhanced Joe's chances of winning the MVP award.
Let's hope that the Twins can overtake the Tigers, and that's even going to increase even more.
One and 2. And there's a base hit to Ordonez to left. So the Tigers have a couple of 1-out singles, and now here in the 4th, a 2-out single.
Well, that right off the end of the bat. A breaking ball just stayed up a little bit. Ordonez gets that base hit. Only the 3rd hit for the Tigers. Here comes with 2 outs here in the 4th.
That was one of the problems the Tigers had last night. They got 11 hits against Carl Pavano, but they were all singles.
Yeah, Pavano did a great job, and it was Brian Dunsing here on Friday, Pavano yesterday. So far, Baker doing exactly what the Twins want the starters to do. Over this, we showed you at the top of the show, over the last 6 ball games, starters 3-0, but an ERA at 2.37. They've done a great job of keeping the club in the game so they can win ball games like they did yesterday.
Tigers didn't score Friday. A couple of 1-run innings yesterday. 1-0 to Guillen, who struck out swinging in the 2nd. This past week, Guillen did turn around and hit once from the right side of the plate, but Tigers don't feel comfortable starting him against a lefty. He has faced lefties since he's come back to the lineup, but as a left-handed batter. Baker falls behind him 3-0 with Brandon Inge on deck. 4th 3-ball count for Baker on the day. Has yet to walk anybody.
See if Ginn takes a strike here. He does.
Three and one. That's deep to right. And the ball bounces away from Kubel. Rounding third and scoring is Ordonez. And throw coming through to third base. And in there with an RBI triple is Carlos Guillen. And the game is tied.
Yeah, Baker fell behind 3-1. Came back with another fastball. And Guillen just missed a 2-run home run. Kind of caught it off the end of the bat a little bit, but hit off the baggie down in right field. Ian maybe thought it was gone, but Kubel, I don't know if he should go after that ball or play it off the carom, but it's an RBI triple for Guillen, his 3rd triple of the year.
Kubel had kind of a long run for that ball. He was playing Guillen over in right center field. So it's 1 apiece, 2 out, and Inge at the plate. Outside a ball. So the Tigers get an extra base hit to drive in the first run of the game.
Sometimes it's little things like that. If Kubel plays that to where it comes off the wall, maybe, you know, or Ordonez may not be able to score on that.
Dribbled off the end of the bat. Inge retired. The inning ends. A couple of 2-out hits for the Tigers, and they've tied the game at 1. Young made another bid for an extra base hit down the left field line last night. Inge cut it off, kept him to a single, but trying to see Young hook the ball down the left field line a little bit more. See what he can get done here against Robertson. He fouled out his first time up. Ball 1. Young, Harrison, Tolbert, and there's ball 2. Twins have picked up 3 singles, taken a couple of walks against Nate Robertson. Still don't have their first extra base hit. 3-0, and Robertson has missed wide with the first 3 pitches. We were talking about Robertson and how his mechanics look different than they were, and he's changed some things, and maybe the elbow situation a part of that. Strike. At 23 years in the major leagues, was there any visible change in your pitching mechanics from 1970 to the end?
Only opening up and landing, a little bit more toward home plate than, say, off toward third base. That was my biggest mechanical change, and that came at a very young age. So instead of throwing across my body, I kind of opened up and utilized the lower part of my body. And that's what Robertson's trying to do right here, is just try to get to that balance point. Eliminate a lot of the other stuff behind him to get to that point right there.
Lace to right center field. Ordonez won't catch it. There's the first Twins extra base hit. And Young is going to hold up at second. So Young, watching all these pitches off the plate outside, finally got one out over the plate and drove it the other way.
Well, again, we were talking about Baker in the top of the inning, fell behind Guillen, came in with a fastball. Right here, same thing. Robertson falling behind and has to come in with a 3-1 fastball. And Delmon, good hitting. Taking it the other way for his 14th double.
And here's Brendan Harris now, the designated hitter.
Well, Harris knows what his job is right here. That little inside-out swing, maybe a ground ball to second. And that fastball kind of overpowered Harris right there, which he was trying to hit the other way.
All right, that's Harris's job. Robertson is to counter that, and how does he go about doing that?
Well, I mean, you can pitch him hard in, or you can go down and away. A lot depends on the hitter up there. A guy like Harris, he'd rather have, I think, the ball away. They're going to go hard in on Harris right here.
Missing inside, 1-1.
I think the scouting report is on Harris, and we've seen it over the seasons in a Twins uniform. A lot of clubs tried pounding him inside. So for Harris to get that ball the other way, he's almost going to have to jam himself and kind of hit it towards second. Another fastball inside.
So a swinging strike and a fastball inside. 2 of them that miss in off the plate. It's 2-1.
Now you might throw a changeup in this situation or a breaking ball to try to make him pull the ball. You've already missed twice inside. And good hitting.
Got it out over the plate, and Harris did what he wanted to do with it.
Well, he got it out over the plate only because he fell behind 2-0. That strike 1, then went inside twice, and now he has to throw a strike. He doesn't want to walk Harris and then create a bigger inning. So a great job of hitting right there by Brendan Harris, doing his job, and it's getting Young over to third.
That brings the Tiger infield in here for the Tolbert at bat. Tolbert singled to center his first time up.
He jumped on the first pitch from Robertson.
Twins trying to retake the lead here in their half of the 4th. Check swing with a strike. The news keeps getting worse for Joe Crede. Crede is with the team. He'll go with the team to Chicago and then head to Central Missouri for a little bit of a break. And for the 3rd year in a row, he's going to have some back surgery in Dallas the week after the regular season ends. So the season that started with Joe Crede at third base looks like it's going to end with Matt Tolbert at third base. One and one to the Twins third baseman. And swing that gets away from Laird, but Young alertly stays put.
Well, good job by Laird right there, smothering the ball and then keeping the ball close to home plate. Delmon really had no place to go. Watch this breaking ball right here. Laird sitting inside, smothering it, and then pouncing on the ball. And Young staying at third base. Everything's been inside to Tolbert, inner half of the plate. He left that breaking ball up. Might have been the pitch that Tolbert should have hit somewhere.
Still 1-2.
I've said it before. Every time you're out there as a pitcher there and you face a guy and you throw 4 or 5 pitches to somebody in one at bat, there's a pitch that hitter probably should have hit. That might have been the pitch that Tolbert maybe should have hit.
And now 2-2.
And everything inside, all 5 pitches. There it again, sitting inside.
There wasn't much Tolbert could do with that pitch other than hit it foul. This will be Robertson's 75th pitch here today.
Yeah, most pitches he's thrown in a ball game in his last start. Again, coming 9 days ago in Detroit against Toronto, he threw 83 pitches in just 3 2/3 innings.
Grounded to third, right at in. 2 down. Tolbert hit it sharply, but on 1 hop to the third baseman, and that'll leave it up to Nick Punto to cash in on the leadoff double. Arby's trivia question here with Rick Knapp, the Detroit pitching coach, coming to the mound. Which Tiger pitcher has the most saves all time in the Metrodome? We can throw out some names, can't we? Todd Jones?
Mr. Jones, yeah. Who did pitch here with the Twins. They could probably add those.
Sure. I don't know how many saves he got with the Twins, but Willie Hernandez had an MVP year in 1984, but he kind of flamed out after that. He never really backed that up with another dominant year. Who've been the other Tiger closers?
Is it Henneman?
Yeah, there's a good name. Yeah, Mike Henneman.
Mike Henneman.
Well, the infield at normal depth now with Punto at the plate. He walked in the second against Robertson and takes high, ball 1. Now, what was that trip to the mound all about? Robertson has struck out Span twice. And Punto's a number 9 hitter. I'm not saying they're going to pitch around him, but if the count gets a little lopsided here. There's a drive to left field. Down for a hit and a huge 2-out knock for Nick Punto. Young scores and the Twins retake the lead.
Well, that's just what the Twins need as the season winds down. Some good 2-out hitting. Harris did his job. Tolbert unable to drive in Young. But here with 2 outs, Nick Punto picking up his 33rd RBI on a base hit. And Punto, he's trying to finish that season strong, get that batting average, to respectability. And he's finishing the month of September outstanding so far.
So Span comes up with the Twins back in front. Punto at first, a threat to steal. We've seen the Twins steal once. Cabrera, back in the first inning, got a great jump on what was a foul ball. So maybe there's something they have seen from Robertson that allows them to get a jump that they weren't able to see, obviously, from Verlander yesterday or Porcello even on Friday.
Well, when he went out, when Rick Knapp went out, he had that long at bat with Tolbert. Maybe just trying to get him refocused. It was Robertson that kind of left that pitch up to Punto.
Belt high strike.
Maybe just give him a little breather.
Rare to see Span strike out in successive at bats against the same pitcher. Span on the year, 85 strikeouts against the 65 walks.
Well, Robert's done a good job of pitching inside to Span with those couple strikeouts. Punto at first base, 11 stolen bases in 13 attempts.
Time called at the plate.
You would think in this situation, if Punto has the green light, he's going to try to steal and get in the scoring position. Worst thing happens, he gets thrown out. Span leads off the next inning. We saw that in the second inning when Tolberts ended up stealing a base. Punto scored, but then Span did strike out.
Punto again got a great jump. And Laird threw him out. A nice catch and tag by Santiago, and Punto is thrown out by the Tiger catcher. And the Twins will settle for the one they got in the fourth. At the Metrodome, final game of a nice week and a half long homestand that has seen the Twins get back into the race. Dick and Bert with you from the Dome. Scott Baker with a 2-1 lead, pitching to the Tigers in the fifth.
Yeah, Baker giving up a run in the top of the fourth inning, but the Twins answering right back, so giving that Baker a 1-run lead again.
What's your thought about Laird, who just threw out Nick Punto trying to steal in his candidacy for a Gold Glove award, hitting .223? Whether it should be or not, it sure seems like you've got to hit to win a Gold Glove.
Yeah, that would help, you know, but you think of Ivan Rodriguez, you think of other catchers, Joe Mauer, but a great throw right here. I mean, look at that little short hop right there, right into the sliding Punto to end the inning.
1-1 to Laird, then Santiago, then Granderson. Well, who was the last guy to win a Gold Glove hitting in the low 200s? Did Mark Belanger ever win Gold Gloves with the Orioles as their shortstop? Okay, well, you might have to go back that far to find somebody who didn't hit much at all, but he still won the Gold Glove award. 1-2. Laird got a pitch up and fouled it straight back.
Yeah, he missed his pitch right there. Baker trying to get him with that high fastball. And always tell by a pitcher when that hitter is right on it. He just fouled it straight back, right over the catcher and the umpire's head. Got a change up inside.
2-2.
Baker, no walks in a ball game, 5 strikeouts. He's allowed only 4 hits.
Now 3-2. Laird, the 8th place hitter, then Santiago and Granderson. Baker had a 1-2-3 second inning. Tigers have had at least one hit in every other inning. Doesn't want to start this inning with a walk. Laird takes the walk to start the 5th inning. Back to our Arby's trivia question. Which Tiger pitcher has the most saves in the Metrodome? I like your pick, Mike Henneman. I'll just go with Todd Jones. And it is Todd Jones. Jones had a couple stints as a Tiger closer.
Yep. Let's see if Santiago's asked to bunt right here. He has 8 sacrifices on the year.
It's a foul into Mauer's mitt, strike 1. Santiago singled to center in the first pitch he saw of the 3rd inning.
Well, he's looking down at third base coach Gene Lamont. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to bunt again here. Swinging away and they pitch out.
Laird does pretty well with his leg speed. He's actually got 4 steals in 4 tries. And as I think we said, he's fast enough where he hasn't really bounced into a lot of double plays, just 8 on the season.
Well, Laird, one of those guys that, you know, kind of like a Carlton Fisk, you know, if you don't pay attention to him, they'll take that walking lead. Baker stepping off.
Just out of the reach of Punto and a sharp single to right. The Tigers are in business here in the 5th.
Santiago picks up his 2nd hit of the ball game.
1st and 2nd, nobody out. Just 3 regular season games left in the Dome, and the final game on October 4th is a sellout. But there are tickets remaining for the Friday and Saturday games against the Royals. It's also Fan Appreciation Weekend presented by DQ. Great time to get out to the Dome, and tickets are going fast, so order at twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Back to the top of the order. Granderson is 0 for 2. Down swinging in the 1st, popped up to 2nd in the 3rd. Talked about Laird being tough to double up. Granderson has bounced into 1 double play in 567 at bats.
He's due then.
Inside, ball 1. Only Ichiro Suzuki has more at bats with just the 1 ground ball double play. Ichiro with 589 at bats. And 1 ground ball double play. And Baker missing inside again. So this top of the 5th inning has been a wobbly start for Scott Baker. He gave up a run after 2 were out in the 4th. The Twins give him another 1-run lead, and Rick Anderson's going to trot to the mound.
Yeah, last couple innings he's starting to leave some balls up, falling behind in the count. And it's Rick Anderson's job right here to try to get him refocused. .75 pitches for Baker here with nobody out in the 5th inning. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
4 of the last 5 batters have reached. Leadoff walk, a rare occurrence for Baker.
Cardonia's last inning got the breaking ball they left up, and then Guillen, when he fell behind 3-1, hit the RBI triple. The leadoff walk, that always seems to come back and haunt you. Hopefully it will not here. But then Santiago, in a bunting situation, swung away and got a base hit.
2-0 to Granderson. Bounce to first, and Kadire will go to the bag and get Granderson. So 1 out, 2 runners move up. And that'll bring up Polanco.
Well, it's not a sacrifice for Granderson, but he did his job, and that's advancing both runners. Now you have the pesky Polanco at the plate.
Playing with a 1-run lead, the Twins will play the infield back. And Polanco with a single in the first, called out on strikes in the third. Rare strikeout for Polanco. Just his 39th of the year.
Yeah, Baker dropped that curveball on him. Good fastball away for strike 1.
So absent a strikeout, rare is the time Polanco is going to strike out twice in a game, obviously. I think in terms of a pop-up anything to get the second out without the tying run scoring. It's blocked by Mauer. 1-1. That's the type of pitch Ron Gardenhire was talking about that Baker seemed incapable of throwing early in the season. A breaking pitch in the dirt.
Well, 2 reasons why he's doing it now. He's bending his back a little bit more and working out front with the release of that fastball.
One and one. And a base hit. It'll score Laird. Kubel with the throw to the plate. And the Tigers have taken the lead with Polanco dumping a 2-run single into right field.
Well, 4 hits in yesterday's ball game. Polanco got a fastball, and he just does what he does so well, just taking that pitch the other way, that inside-out swing. And Polanco driving in a couple runs. Now with 67 RBI on the year. So the leadoff walk ends up hurting Baker right here, as the Tigers take a 3-2 lead.
And now Marcus Thames. Big swing and miss. Thames with a strikeout on the first and a fly ball to right in the fourth. First time in the series where the Tigers have scored 2 runs in an inning. And they got them both on 1 hit.
Two good fastballs, outer half of the plate. Thames cannot reach that. He struck him out in the first at bat with a running fastball inner half of the plate, but last 2 fastballs clipping the outer half of the plate. Thames a lot of power if you make a mistake.
Oh, 0-2. One pitches for Baker.
All 3 fastballs out. Baker has the opportunity here to go bust him in with a fastball or go further off the plate. See if Thames will chase a fastball away. Anytime you're ahead in the count, you can kind of toy with the hitter a little bit.
Struck him out with a high fastball back in the first inning.
Yeah, inner half.
Tigers enjoying their first lead of the day. One and 2. Kansas City leading Chicago 2-1. Bottom of the 5th in Chicago. White Sox hanging in there. They won their game last night. Jake Peavy's debut, and with the Tiger loss here, they're 5.5 games out of first.
It looks like the bullpen's going to get somebody up.
1 and 2 for Marcus Thames. Pass Tolbert into left field. Another Tiger hit, and 4 of the 5 batters this inning have reached safely. And 6 of the last 8. 5 hits and a walk against Scott Baker.
You know, he threw a couple fastballs by him, and then he tries to trick him with breaking balls, and that allows that hitter to speed up his swing or let his bat catch up. And that's a breaking ball right there. Watch this breaking ball where it ends up. Timms has an opportunity to just use his strength and push it through the infield.
Well, suddenly a dangerous at bat here with Cabrera 0 for 2, but 2 men on and only 1 out. Cabrera with a bouncer to short and a strikeout so far against Baker. High ball to center. And Span with the catch out number 2. And that is a huge relief for the Twins to get Cabrera out and on 1 pitch.
Yeah, a little cutter, a little slider right there, right off the end of the bat. Cabrera, the fly out to center.
And that'll bring up Ordonez. After the game last night, Jim Leyland wasn't complaining about the Metrodome. He was complaining about all the missed opportunities early in the game against Carl Pavano. Crane and Mayhay warming up. Tigers left 9 men on through 5 innings, at least 1 man on in every inning. Here's Ordonez. Up the middle and a base hit. It'll score another run. Polanco around third, and the Tigers lead by 2. Baker seemed to be in control of this thing through 3 2/3 innings. Now he's getting hit hard in the middle innings.
Well, second time in a row right there. Ordonez jumping on that first pitch. It was Cabrera that flew out to center, jumped on the first pitch. Ordonez right there gets his second hit of the ball game and his 41st RBI of the year.
The Tigers lead by 2. Mauer to the mound to talk to Baker to try to get that 15th out from him.
Well, a little bit of the sharpness has really left Baker over the last inning plus. Bell behind in the count on a couple of hitters, and right there just kind of saying, okay, I'm going to get strike 1, and Ordonez taking advantage of it and getting that base hit up the middle.
7 hits and a walk in the last 11 plate appearances. And here is Guillen, who drove in the tying run with a triple off the drape in right in the 4th. And that's going to be the end of the day for Scott Baker. 3 men on base here, and a sudden burst by the Tigers has knocked the Twin starter from the game. It will be Mayhay, I'm almost certain, because Guillen's still struggling from the right side of the plate. And so Mayhay will come in to try to put this 5th inning to bed.
Over from the Kansas City Royal organization that ended up letting him go at the end of August. Those are his total numbers between the Royals and the Twins. He last worked on Tuesday. Ended up facing only one hitter, ended up hitting that batter. The Twins ended up winning that ball game 5-4.
Because Guillen is still not 100% and still is not a true switch hitter, the Tigers take him out of the game. And in the 5th inning will pinch hit Ryan Rayburn. So Rayburn will end up playing roughly half the game, presuming he stays in and takes over in left field. And Mayhay drops a breaking pitch over, strike one.
Oh, Rayburn hitting at 275, 2 for 13 as a pinch hitter.
One and one. Tigers getting a run after 2 were gone in the 4th, and then this inning started with a leadoff walk, and it won't finish with Scott Baker pitching for the Twins. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Oh, good fastball right there by the 38-year-old Ron Mayhay. Hard slider, good fastball, straight over the top type pitcher.
One and two. And Rayburn takes it off the plate. 2-2. Got him. So Mayhay finally finishes the 5th, but the Tigers scored 3 times to take a 4-2 lead. Won't you enjoy circling Twins fans outdoors next year rather than indoor?
I enjoy it on the road. You know,
Yeah.
Kansas, there's so many different ballparks. People bring signs. Be a lot of fun.
Rayburn in left, and Span will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Twins find themselves down a pair of runs. Span has struck out twice against Nate Robertson, who's certainly given the Tigers a good start here. Span taps it foul past Jerry White, 2 strikes.
See, now Span's trying to open up a little quicker, and he lined that ball, foul because of the way that Robertson has pitched him in his first 2 at-bats. Struck him out both times, fastballs inside. And we showed you this not on the corner. They're 3 or 4 inches on the inner half of the plate. So Span has it on his mind right now. They're going to keep continuing busting me in like that.
And he fouls it off his leg and drops the bat to walk it off.
See a lot of hitters with pads on their ankles. No pad on that for Denard Span. That got flesh. That got him pretty good.
Trying to get aboard. The Tigers got their leadoff man on with a walk and built a 3-run inning. And the Twins hope to do something similar against Robertson in their half of the 5th. 2 quick strikes, though, to the leadoff man. And again, he opens up and pulls a foul.
That's what you want to do as a pitcher. Make the hitter adjust. Make them make the adjustment. And then when a hitter sees you good or hits you good, then you have to make the adjustment out on the mound. But right now it's a cat and mouse game right here. Let's see if Robertson again goes inside. Now it's the breaking ball.
And Span fights it off.
Tried to sneak a fastball or breaking ball away, and Span fouled it off.
Left-handed batters have hit Robertson much better than right-handers. In a much smaller sample this year with the injury issues. And a called 3rd strike, went outside and flipped the corner.
Yeah, 3rd time that Robertson has been able to get Span again, busting him in. He went away. Span fouled it off, so they snuck that fastball outer half of the plate, and Span do it. So Robertson picks up his 5th strikeout.
And now Cabrera singled and scored back in the 1st inning. Ball 1. No hint of any bullpen activity with Robertson out there in the 5th. 86 pitches. And now 1-1.
A good little changeup down and away.
And it was supposed to be the other left-hander, Jared Washburn, who was going to make this start. But Washburn might be done for the season. 2-1. Three and 1. Mauer on deck. At the knees to fill the count. Now they're starting to scramble a little bit down by the Tiger bullpen. And Cabrera takes a walk. So not a leadoff walk as the Tigers took, but a 1-out walk to Cabrera, and we'll see what the middle of the lineup can do here in the 5th against Robertson.
The 3rd walk of the ball game for Robertson. He tried that 3-2 breaking ball rather than challenging Cabrera. He tried to sneak a breaking ball by him, ended up walking him. Now you have the middle part of the lineup for the Twins coming in, and Rick Knapp, the pitching coach for the Tigers, going out to the mound.
With 91 pitches under his belt, Robertson might be nearing the end. Zach Minor warming up.
Minor mainly warming up for Kadire if Kadire is able to maybe get up this inning. Laird and Knapp talking it over with Robertson.
Mauer's 1 for 2 against Robertson. Kubel hitting behind Mauer is still yet to get a hit against Robertson. He's 0 for 12. Twins hoping to answer with at least 1 run here in the 5th. Mauer takes a strike on the inside corner. I'm sure Joe agreed, might have had a word or two with Chris Guccione. Rick Porcello Friday had some success with fastballs on the inside corner to Mauer. Verlander tried one yesterday and Mauer plastered it into the upper deck. Cabrera goes, and again, he got a good jump, and Mauer tapped it foul. 2 strikes.
That same thing happened in the 1st inning. Cabrera looked like he was going to be able to steal second without a throw. And Mauer fouled off a breaking ball up. And again, right here, Orlando Cabrera with a good jump. Mauer fouls it off, so Cabrera has to go back to first.
Two strikes to Mauer. Now Cabrera check. To the left field corner. Rayburn in foul ground makes the catch. Cabrera.
Oh, throws way over his head.
Threw way over second base, but backing it up is Miguel Cabrera, and Orlando has to stay at first.
Boy, they played Joe Mauer perfectly right there. Fastball away. Joe took it that way, and Rayburn didn't really have to run that far to catch this ball. He was really guarding that line. And Rayburn showing off his arm over the head of Polanco. Cabrera, the first baseman, has to back up the play.
Well, now Kubel drove in a Twins run with a ground ball in the 1st and then walked in the 3rd. Walked on 5 pitches. Up and away, ball 1. And of course, Robertson would love to get Kubel for a lot of reasons here. It might be his last chance to complete 5 innings and qualify for a win. If he doesn't get Kubel, with the right-hander warmed up and Kadire due up next, the Tigers may go out and get Nate Robertson.
Now Kubel has 23 home runs, 2 against left-handed pitchers.
Pulled foul, and it's 1-2. And 0 for 12 in his career against this left-hander. Kubel got a big hit for the Twins late in the game yesterday. Over 400 against the Tigers this year. It's nice, isn't it, when you've got guys like Span and Kubel who seem to be doing very well against teams within the division since you play them so often. And a called 3rd strike with Robertson pumping his fist as he comes off the mound. He has completed 5 innings with the lead. Casey, and today they did the honors and taking down the number 4 to reveal number 3.
Well, the legendary Harmon Killebrew, class man, represents the Minnesota Twins as good as anybody.
There's a chance that as they get down to 1 2 weeks from today and take it down, that by the end of the game they'll have to put 1 back up there.
Well, you never know.
There's a chance that they'll have to play game 163 again this year. We'll talk more about that in a second. First, Jesse Crane coming into the ballgame for his 48th time, pitching to the bottom third of the Tiger lineup. Ball 1. Inge, Laird, and Santiago to face Crane here in the 6th. Inge 0 for 2, a fly to right and a ground ball to second. Here's another foul fly hit down the right field line. Kubel chasing it, but it's out of play. The way it's going to work, if the Twins and Tigers finish the 162 game season in a dead heat, there are no more coin flips. They legislated that out of existence after the Twins got shortchanged, they felt, last year, having to go to Chicago when they'd won the season series. And if the Twins get into a tie with the Tigers, I think mathematically it's almost a certainty that they would have won the season series against Detroit. So the Twins would host game number 163. I guess the question is when it would be held. Swing and a miss, and Crane starts his outing with a strikeout.
Well, Jesse worked in yesterday's ballgame, worked 1 shutout inning, and ended up being the benefactor of that 5-run bottom of the 8th when he won his 6th ballgame out of relief. Good breaking ball right here, and Inge swinging through it for the first out here in the top of the 6th.
Now Laird, who drew that very costly leadoff walk in the 5th. Francisco Liriano warming up. So if there is a game 163 and you say, well, what's the big deal? We'll just play the following day. That, not so fast, because the Vikings have that day booked to host the Packers. And there's going to be some serious discussion, negotiating, what have you, to try to figure out who would actually have the rights. Laird with a nice bunt. Crane didn't do much with it after fielding it. And Laird showing off some of that catcher speed with a bunt single.
Perfectly placed bunt.
Spend a week like a major leaguer at the Twins All-Star Fantasy Camp in Fort Myers. The date's January 9th through the 17th. Get instruction from more than a dozen former major leaguers, including Hall of Famer Harmon Killebrew, and play at least 1 game a day for an entire week. And sign up for the fantasy camp. Visit twinsbaseball.com, or if you'd like, call 1-888-901-PLAY or 7529.
A lot of double headers played in those fantasy camps. Like to wear them out quick. Take a look at the bunt right here by Laird with Tolbert playing back. Very nice executed bunt. Crane made a heck of a play to try to get him, but Laird beat it out.
1-0 to Santiago. Crane with that quick move to first. And he hits the outside corner. John Roush looking into the goodie bag for something. Old set of directions to a golf course. It's hit well to left. Bowman Young continues to retreat, makes the catch near the edge of the track. Laird tries to advance. Safe, and just barely. Young to Cabrera to Punto, and they nearly got him at second.
Oh, nice base running by Laird right there. You know, even though we've talked about his speed, there's not too many times he's going to try to steal a base. But what he saw was Delman Young keep going back and back, and then Delman getting the ball back in to Orlando Cabrera, and the quick feed over to Nick Punto. You see Laird tagging up, and he's able to get in the scoring position by good hustle with 2 outs.
And so now Granderson, who struggled mightily against lefties, will try to do something against Francisco Liriano, who gets the call here. A bunt single, that's all Crane allows, but he comes out for Liriano.
Look at old check.
Here's Granderson against Liriano.
Well, Liriano just making his second relief appearance. Good hard slider right there. Liriano, he last worked on Friday back on 9/11, September 11th. 2 shutout innings. He had 4 strikeouts in that outing. As a starter, 5-12 with a 5.80 ERA.
Popped up short center. Span calls for it. Liriano in a couple pitches gets the Twins off the field in the 6th. With a 3-run 5th, now leading 4-2. The Twins are trying to come back against the Tiger bullpen.
Yeah, Nate Robertson, 5 innings. He allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Now Well, Zach Minor, the first one out of the Tigers bullpen, making his 46th relief appearance. He made 5 starts for the Tigers and has been in and out of the rotation over the last 4 years for Detroit. He does have 42 walks in 83 2/3 innings pitched with 56 strikeouts.
Michael Kadire 0 for 2. Hit the ball hard his last time up, and he takes a sweeping breaking ball. Ball 1. Kadire seeing that pitch an awful lot from right-handed pitchers. He, for a while, was kind of susceptible to that. Swung at a lot of pitches breaking down and away from him. There's a fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. And now 2-1. Tigers can't complain with what Nate Robertson gave him here today. They had him in the rotation, took him out because of injury, put him back in because of injury, and he gave him 5 pretty good innings here today.
Yeah, he pitched good. He battled through 5 innings, ended up throwing 98 pitches into 5 innings.
High fly to center field. Granderson back at the wall makes the catch. Just about 15 feet short of where Kadire hit one out yesterday.
On his last at-bat in the 3rd inning, he lined the ball right in that area, and Granderson ended up running it down. Right here, a fastball came into the swing. Kadire, who has that home run swing going, just comes up a little short as Granderson makes the catch up on the warning track.
Here's Delman Young. Young rifled a double into right center field his last time up, and he takes a swing and it got him right around the handle of the bat. Minor ran that pitch in around the hands, and Delman almost got hit by the pitch. One and one. Another one darting down and in, and Young swings at it.
Yeah, Minor with a good sinking fastball, the hard breaking ball, circle changeup. Is that what he uses as a changeup? Came over from the Atlanta Brave organization back in 2005.
Two and two. Fly to center, and Polanco makes the catch. 2 down. You can visit the official online shop at twinsbaseball.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic Twins gear like caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. You can get your Twins gear straight from the source at twinsbaseball.com.
What Polanco did right there is what Ron Krumel was talking about the other night in the instructional. How you go back on a little flare fly ball just like that. Polanco did it with perfection.
He must have been watching.
Yeah, Ron Krumel would be proud.
1 strike to Harris, who struck out in the 2nd, bounced out to 2nd in the 4th.
That's Polanco right here. Now he goes over to the right, his right shoulder, and then makes the catch as he kind of backpedals. It's exactly what Coomer was talking about.
Well, now, did we have Ron Coomer do that?
No, we had some other guys do it.
Well,
actually, Coomer did a couple of them.
Yeah.
And he caught all of them. Did a good job.
2-1 to Harris.
Of course, I got to throw them, so I just threw them a little bit further.
Yeah, I know what that's like. Yeah.
Bit.
Still remember you running the pop-up machine when I was trying to catch pop-ups out in the outfield.
I wanted that baby to come down as a knuckleball.
2-2 to Harris. At the top of the 8th in Chicago, with Kansas City still leading 2-1 there. 3-2. Harris trying to get a board for Tolbert.
Yeah, Minor just missing away with that fastball. Almost have to look another fastball. Watch Laird behind the plate, sitting outer half of the plate.
And it's lifted to the right field corner. Ordonez lopes after it, and it's out of play. Twins have one left-handed hitter on the bench today, and that's Brian Busher. It's hit pretty well to left center. Granderson glides after it to make the catch. So Minor comes in, gets the 3 men he was asked to get in the 6th. The ball game. Let's hope the Twins can come back and win this ball game like they did last night. Enjoying the nook, the pacifier. Here's Placido Polanco facing Francisco Liriano. 2 weeks of baseball left to play, 13 games after today, and Liriano, if he can do as well as he did the last time he came out of the pen, and he's off to a good start here tonight. Bouncer to the right side, and an easy play for Punto. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that Liriano could be the difference maker. Here's the Comcast game summary.
Baker fell behind right there, and Carlos Guillen ended up hitting that RBI triple. Nick Punto gave the Twins a lead of 2-1 with that RBI single with 2 outs, but then in the top of the 5th, 3 runs scored by the Detroit Tigers. Miguel Ordonez knocking in a run right there in the 3-run 5th.
So 1 down quickly in the 7th, and here's Marcus Thames. And then Mauer takes his 3rd hard foul tip. And back to Liriano. As a starter, we saw him many times be dominant in the first 3-4 innings. That's not his role now. He oftentimes had trouble in the middle innings facing a lineup 2nd, 3rd time. But first time through the order, which is what his job is right now, he could very easily be the difference between finishing in 1st place or 2nd place.
You're absolutely right. He could be a big key to that bullpen. Twins did a great job of adding some arms in that bullpen, but this guy right here, when he is able to maybe pitch like he did last time, 2 shutout innings, the biggest thing is, how often can you use him?
Right.
Well, it's been, 9 days in between outings for Liriano. but the opportunity really hasn't arisen that many times for him to come into the ballgame. One thing that they want Liriano to do, they don't want him to come in like he did last inning. They'd like for him to start an inning, but he was able to come in last inning and get the fly ball off the bat of Granderson.
1-2 to Thames. Foul back.
I would think any starter, your mindset is to start every 5th day. To go out to the bullpen, how do you warm up? You usually warm up, 15, 20 minutes to get ready for a ball game. All of a sudden now you're put into a relief role. How long does it take for me to get loose? Guys like Joe Nathan, they can get loose in maybe 15 to 20 pitches. But Liriano's going to take longer.
2-2. Twins bullpen right now looks stronger than it's been in quite some time. You've got from the right side guys who recently have pitched effectively: Roush, Guerrero, Nathan, Crane, and even Bobby Keppel. From the left side, Mayhey's done his job. So too Maharis and Liriano. And you look at what's happened in the month of September for the Twins and how they've climbed back into this race, perhaps by day's end just a game out. In September, the pitching staff is pitching to a 3.32 earned run average. Swing and a miss. Thames is gone. 2 away.
A good change up right there. And Liriano picking up his first strikeout. That's why he can be so effective in this role, because really when he is on, he has three pitches that he can really come at hitters for maybe 1 or 2 or 3 innings.
So 2 down in the 7th, and here's Cabrera. Ball 1.
The Twins have seen that in the past. Remember, LaTroy Hawkins was that way. You could go 4 or 5 really good innings, and then they'd catch up to him. Eddie Guardado, remember, he came up as a starter with the Twins. Same thing. Some guys are just maybe fitted better as a reliever than maybe a starter because of the arm strength.
Hold foul. In the other cases, in Guardado's case and Hawkins' case, I don't know that either one has the stuff that Liriano has. As you said, he's got 3 pitches that can be dominant. He just has had a tough time putting it back together again as a starter.
Well, he has a very violent delivery, and to do that the way that he throws that ball for 6, 7 innings is really difficult. He can get away with it for 1 or 2 or 3 innings. Then he starts to drop down, and the control is a little erratic. He had 58 walks in 127 innings pitched as a starter.
High and deep to right. Back is Kubel at the fence, leaps, and it bounces off the wall, and Cabrera's in at second with a 2-out double. Looked like a routine fly ball when it left home plate, but Cabrera's so big and strong, he got that extra carry on the ball and turned it into a double.
Yeah, second time we've seen Jason Kubel go to the wall and then not really do what Kadire does a lot of times, and that's run back toward the infield. He kind of hung around right there, thought he could get it. It's out of his reach, and right there Kubel has to go chase the ball, as he did off the bat of Carlos Guillen early in the ballgame.
Up until Justin Morneau's absence from the lineup, most of the time when Kubel played defensively, he played in left, so he's still getting to know right field here at the Metrodome at a time when there are only a handful of games left.
You want to be very careful right here. Ordonez swinging through a fastball, because Rayburn's on deck, not the hitter, even though the numbers aren't there for Ordonez. He's been having a better second half than first half. You don't want the Tigers to go base hit and score a run.
They did that in the 4th inning with a 2-out single by Ordonez, then the triple. The RBI by Ordonez in the 5th, just his 2nd in the month of September. One and one from Liriano to Ordonez. And dangerous too, because Ordonez always seemed to give Johan Santana trouble, and similarly he's done some damage against Liriano in the past too. Ordonez is a .400 hitter against Liriano. 2-2. Bouncer left side. Tolbert cuts it off and ends the inning. Good inning for Liriano. We'll see if the Twins can mount a rally in the home half of the seventh.
By circle.
Generally, particularly in my bachelorhood, Oreos never lasted long enough to actually bother putting them in the cookie jar. You just went ahead and ate them out of the packet.
With the milk?
Clete Thomas in the game as the Tigers try to get a little more athletic in the outfield. Guillen's gone on left, and now Ordonez has gone in right. And the Twins, in the home half of the seventh here, will try to get something done against Zach Miner. He faced Cuddyer, Young, and Harris and retired them all on fly ball outs in the sixth. And what this homestand, this series, maybe this season needs is an inning where the old Piranha approach would lead to a big inning. And to that end, Tolbert, Punto, and Span will be the three guys to face the Tigers first here in the seventh inning.
Yeah, Miner in the sixth inning through 16 pitches, 9 for strikes. Retired the Twins in order.
A couple of switch hitters and a left-handed hitter. Bobby C's warming up in the Tiger bullpen. It'll probably be for Span. We'll see what Tolbert can do. The whole complexion of this inning could change if he can simply get on base. Hinge about even with the bag at third. Down low, ball one. Tolbert singled to center, stole second in the second inning, and then bounced to third. 1-1. Two and one. You look at Miner's numbers, and you can understand why any leadoff hitter would make him throw a strike or two. He at times does have some control issues. 42 walks in 83 2/3 innings coming in. Fouled back 2-2. You saw Bobby C warming up. Tolbert and then Punto, who's already reached twice today. Full foul. The barrel of the bat on it, but hooked it.
And Minor knows, you talked about the walks that he has allowed this year in a short amount of time or innings pitched. He doesn't want to go 3-2 where he has to maybe give up a cookie right here, but he doesn't want to walk Tolbert either. He wants something to happen right here on 2-2. And his best pitch is that sinking fastball.
And Tolbert serves it into center field. So the leadoff man is on, and we'll see where this 7th inning takes us with Punto due up next.
Pretty good hitting right there by Tolbert. He almost golfed that ball into center field. Take a look at the location of this pitch. I mean, that's a sinker right there. Tolbert serving it 15 love in the center field. So Tolbert gets his second hit of the ball game.
Punto drove in a run with a big 2-out hit his last time up. He also walked in the second. So 2-run lead, some no bunt situation here, at least not a sacrifice situation. And Punto takes strike one. And Punto's batting average is steadily climbing. 1-1.
And Minor just working the outer half of the plate, hoping to get a ground ball.
72 hits for Punto, 15 extra base hits, and boy, Punto could find a seam to get a double here that would perhaps score Tolbert, but it would get him the tying run into scoring position. Check swing, but he went 1-2.
All 3 pitches outer half of the plate.
Here's where I think Bert Punto's really changed his approach. And sometimes it hasn't been pretty. His 2-strike swings seem defensive at times, but he's succeeded in extending at bats, flicking pitches away and putting the ball in play rather than striking out.
And nobody has worked harder at it than Nick Punto.
And right there toward the shortstop, Santiago with a nice pickoff, and they get an out on what might have been a base hit. Pretty good play by the Detroit shortstop.
Yeah, very nice play by Santiago, going to his right, getting that little short hop, and then Polanco at second base attempted to get Punto, but Punto too quick. Nice backhanded play. Make sure you get one. And then you see right there, Punto, that's the swing that you're talking about. Just making good contact. Maybe good things will happen. But Santiago making a very nice play.
The Twins need a jolt here, and C is warmed up, but C apparently warming up for Mauer and Kubel. They'll let it ride here with Minor, the right-hander, facing Span. Span struck out 3 times against Nate Robertson, a left-hander. Now he takes ball 1. Same 2 for Span. If he can manage a hit or a double here, swing and a miss in the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, good changeup right there. Yeah, nobody in the ballpark happier that Robertson is out of the ball game than Denard Span. Robertson had 6 strikeouts in 5 innings, and 3 of them from Span.
And that one hits the inside corner. 1-2. In terms of run production, which is, I guess, how you should evaluate a lineup, the Twins have the best lineup within the American League Central. They've scored more runs than the other 4 teams. But so far, just 2 today. 2-2. To Span. 3-2 with Cabrera on deck.
Now do you send Nick Punto right here? Carroll Laird, outstanding arm behind the plate.
Span's already struck out 3 times. Sinker baller Minor on the mound. Detroit outfield playing Span sharply to the opposite field, all the way across. Punto goes, swing and a miss, and there will be no throw because there was no one at second base. So Span strikes out for the 4th time, and Laird didn't even have a chance to throw because there was nobody covering second base.
Well, the infielders holding their ground right here as Span swings through it, and Laird alertly did not throw the ball because Santiago looked like it was his responsibility to get over, but he's playing a very deep short.
So 4 strikeouts for Denard Span, and here's Orlando Cabrera. Twins last scored in the 4th when Punto delivered a 2-out hit. Now Cabrera hoping to do it here in the 7th. Breaking ball hits the corner. Minor probably in the back of his mind knows that Cabrera will be the last batter he faces, with C warmed up and Mauer on deck.
He's probably saying, good, I don't want to face Joe Mauer.
1-1. Up and away, 2-1. Cabrera, too, very well aware of who's hitting behind him and how the game can change if he can simply get aboard here with 2 outs. We'll pop up to right field. Pete Thomas is there to end the inning. So Minor comes out of the pen, gives the Tigers 2 very effective innings, and it's still a 2-run Tiger lead.
Hopefully the Twins can come back and improve on that record here this afternoon.
Neither team did well against the Yankees, but the Twins took it to an extreme against the American League East, winning just 10 of the 32 games. Here's Rayburn leading off the 8th against Liriano. Back in the 5th inning, it was Ron Mahay who got Rayburn to strike out with a couple of men aboard. The Tigers had already scored 3 runs to take their 4-2 lead. That hit a long way to left center field. And it's now 5-2. Rayburn tees off with a leadoff home run here in the 8th.
Oh, home run number 13 on the year for Ryan Rayburn. Got a fastball from Lariano and did not miss it. Ball hugging the inner half of the plate. And Rayburn giving the Tigers a 5-2 lead.
And now Inge. Ball 1.
First home run the Tigers have hit in this 3-game series. John Roush starting to loosen up in the Twins bullpen.
You know, we talked about this a little bit on Friday. Every time the Tigers have been seriously threatened, there's been a little pushback. And the Twins swept the Tigers here earlier this year, got into a first place tie with them, and then the Twins went to New York and got swept. The Tigers took off on a winning streak, and the Twins really haven't been close to the Tigers ever since. Same thing happened in August when the White Sox crawled into a tie with the Tigers, and they had a big 4-game series with Detroit. Detroit won the first 3 games, and the White Sox really haven't been heard from since. So now a heartbreaking loss for the Tigers yesterday. And at the very least, they've come back with a really good ball game here today.
It is hard to sweep any team. I don't care if you're the Kansas City Royals or, you know, the whoever. You know, to sweep a ball club at even though your own ballpark is hard. The Twins did it earlier. Twins coming into this ball game 7-1 against the Tigers here at the Dome, 9-4 overall. But you know what? I think going into this 3-game series, Dick, if the Twins said, you know what, we can't not lose 2 of 3. The worst we could do is win 2 of 3.
And Inge draws a walk after the home run.
And hopefully the Twins have something left and come back and you know, win this ball game. Ron Gardenhire's coming out.
Lariano working in his 3rd inning and struggling after the home run and then the follow-up walk. Laird will hit and John Roush will come in to face him. So the Tigers now lead by 3. Final 2 weeks, each team, Minnesota, Detroit, 13 games, and a lot of common opponents for both teams.
Yeah, you can see that, you know, I mean, the Minnesota Twins were going on that road trip to play the White Sox, the Royals, and then the Tigers, and then come back here against the Royals, where the Tigers, they go to Cleveland, and then they go back home against the Chicago White Sox and the Twins. And then they finish it up, I believe, with the White Sox. Well, they go to Chicago.
Right, they go to Chicago.
Yep.
This is the first of a 3-city road trip, and then they finish the last week at home.
Yep.
Laird bunted for a hit before. Now he simply wants to move Inge along if he can. The first pitch bunted foul. Laird's had an impact on the game. There's John Roush and his numbers as a Twin.
Yeah, making his 10th appearance as a Twin. 3 holes out of that bullpen, 3 wins. So So he's kind of been a good luck charm out of that bullpen for the Twins. He worked here on Friday night, 1 shutout inning, ended up throwing 15 pitches, 9 for strikes.
And a base hit to center field. So Inge does get to second, but Laird continues to have an impact in the series. He threw out a runner, and he's reached 3 times.
Second time in this ball game, Dick, that it looked like a bunting situation. Remember Santiago in the 5th inning looked like, you know, he missed the first bunt, and then Gene Lamont and Jim Leyland gave him the hit, and he ended up getting a base hit right there. Missed the bunt. It was taken off. Maybe the pitcher's thinking, okay, another bunt. Here's a fastball, and both of them got base hits.
Well, Lamont wanted to speak directly with Santiago in this possible bunting situation. Tigers out hitting the Twins here 12-6, leading by 3, and still nobody out with 2 men aboard. Santiago almost certainly, you'd think, going to be asked to drop one down here, and he does. Roush flips to first. So a good sacrifice attempt by Santiago, and Inge and Laird both move up.
Well, he does his job. His 9th sacrifice of the year, advancing both runners.
And now Granderson.
He's going to go ahead and walk Granderson, load the bases.
Mightily as Granderson has struggled against lefties, he's been a pretty dangerous hitter against righties, and so the Twins will walk Granderson to load the bases and take their chances with Polanco and perhaps Thames. Thames the DH, so the Tigers certainly have the option of sending out a pinch hitter. Could be Aubrey Huff. We'll see what happens in the Polanco at bat. Polanco with a couple of hits, including a big 2-run single. Typically productive series for Polanco against the Twins. This too might be one of those situations where if the Tigers don't cash in here, Jim Leyland will look back at this inning as being the deciding inning if the Twins come back and win the game. The Tigers had plenty of opportunities early in the game yesterday against Carl Pavano, but didn't get much done.
Yeah, infield looking for the double play. Polanco's hit into 15 of them.
Takes ball 1.
Corner infielders, if that ball comes to them, and depends on how sharply it hit, they'll either go home or try to turn 2.
So Bobby Keppel warm up in the Twins pen. 1-0 to Polanco. Another good take. 2-0. Again, under the presumption that you're not going to strike this guy out, you clearly have to throw strikes to him.
And that's where he's at his best.
Pulled foul. 2-1. Kansas City beat the White Sox 2-1. So the White Sox will not pick up any ground on Detroit and might lose some. Around the hands, and it's 3-1 with no place to put him. Three-1 to Polanco. Fouled back 3-2. Royals trying to get out of the basement in the American League Central. They started the day just a game behind Cleveland. Big pitch here for John Roush. And a big pitch for the Twins. Ooh, Polanco did him a favor. He swung at a pitch and he hit the ball, actually hit his hand. Polanco doesn't strike out very often, but similarly, he doesn't walk very often.
Right, he's protecting the plate right there, and the ball ran in on him.
Just 31 walks, and that ball clearly would have been ball 4, and it ended up hitting him on a swing.
Yeah, and then getting the right thigh area. That's his ball off the bat, and getting him right on the leg.
So the Twins catch a break that Polanco offered at the pitch. On the season, Polanco with just 31 walks in all those at bats. Actually walks less than he strikes out. So a reprieve for John Roush and the Twins. Hope to right. Kubel back, has to leap at the end to make the catch. Another Tiger run will score, and it's a 4-run lead. So dinged up though he might have been, Polanco still got the job done and drove in a run.
Again, a guy that just kind of puts the ball in play, and right there, Kubel having to go back a little bit, and that allows Inge to tag up and score the second run of the inning.
2 runs, both charged to Liriano. And Aubrey Huff will hit in 10 spot.
Yeah, on the play right here, Laird tagging up at second. You see just hitting the ball the other way, deep enough to pick up his 3rd RBI of the ball game.
6-2 Tigers, and now Roush will try to get Huff. Granderson at first, and second base open. We'll see whether the Tigers even entertain the notion of Granderson taking off with Huff at the plate. Ball 1. Tolbert is well off the line and well off the bag at third. So the runner at third, Laird, can take about a 30-foot lead off third base. As Roush gets ready to deliver, Laird can expand his lead. Now Roush falls behind 2-0. Roush having a hard time throwing strikes here. 17 pitches and just 10 strikes, or 7 strikes.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good pitch right there. Huff, the designated hitter in yesterday's ball game, 1 for 4 with an RBI.
Read Roush's lips. Wow, I think ball 2 and 3 he thought were strikes. Three and one.
We've seen time from time that Roush has a lot of confidence in that curveball. Anderson will be taking off at first.
Call third strike. So a couple of runs charged to Liriano. The Twins had a 5-run 8th yesterday. They'll need something similar today. 22nd, and it's a Cub Foods Fantastic Friday presented by Land O'Lakes Milk. You can buy a ticket in the home run porch, get a free half-gallon of Land O'Lakes milk, chocolate milk, or orange juice. You can call 800-33-TWINS or log on to twinsbaseball.com. Purchase your Cub Foods Fantastic Friday tickets. Fantastic 8th inning here yesterday. Twins caught a break, but they scored 5 runs, and they find themselves down by 4 with Bobby C. entering the game.
I see the numbers on C right there. 6 wins out of the bullpen. Very good 3.61 earned run average. 47 in the 3rd innings, only 39 hits allowed with 37 strikeouts. We'll give you that sidearm type of delivery.
Mauer with 5 hits, 15 at bats against C. They've all been singles. He'll try to get aboard here, and the Twins hope to put something together. They've had just single runs here today. 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th. Down the line, and a good start. Mauer aboard with a single, his 2nd hit of the ball game, and the average should go up to about 374, 375.
Day after day, you marvel at the swing of Joe Mauer, the way he can just kind of inside out that pitch and then hit it softly into left field. Then you'll see him hit it sharply over the fence in left field. He can hit.
And now Kubel, who had more difficulty against Nate Robertson again today, but now facing another left-hander, a different left-hander. Check swing and a foul. Kubel 3 for 7 against C. Justin Morneau 7 for 14 against C. So Tigers saving their left-hander for some setup work here in the 8th inning, but the left-handed batters the Twins have done pretty well against him.
Yeah, C has a fastball in the low 90s, then that big sweeping breaking ball from that sidearm delivery.
When the Twins swept the Tigers here earlier this year in May, they'd won the first 2 games, and Justin Verlander pitched a game similar to the one he pitched yesterday. And then the Tigers eventually took Robertson out, put C in, and he was exhausted because he'd been used so much. The Twins teed off on him and ended up beating the Tigers and sweeping the series. So C doesn't have the best of memories of this place anyway this year. Now it's 2-1 to Kubel. Little roller to short. Santiago starts a double play. They were lucky to get the out at second base. Santiago's flip way over on the glove side, and Polanco was able to spear it as he stepped across the bag.
Kubel kind of got jammed right there. Watch Santiago flipping it, and Polanco come across the bag, and a quick flip over to Cabrera to complete the double play. That's what second basemen want to do. They want to get out of that way of a slide, and that was Joe Mauer coming in hard.
So just like that, 2 are gone, and here's Michael Kadire. C bends a breaking ball over for strike 1. In that outing back in mid-May, the 14th of May, C pitched a 1/3 of an inning and gave up 4 earned runs. Oh, what a nice pickup by Santiago, and he throws out Kadire. So the Tiger bullpen keeping the Twins in check. They lead by 4.
Polanco having a good day at the plate. 2 for 4, 3 RBIs with a run scored.
And Bobby Keppel comes out of the Twins pen to try to keep this a 6-2 game.
Keppel making his 29th relief appearance. It's been a week between outings for Bobby Keppel. He last worked last Sunday against the Oakland A's here, where he pitched 1 shutout inning in the Twins' 8-0 win over the A's. Keppel, a sinker slider type pitcher.
And the first pitch fouled over the Tiger dugout. Cabrera with a double off the fence in right. Well, that's probably something I've been pretty guilty of. It's not really a fence in right field. And Herb Carneal coined it the baggy. That's as good as any. I think he caught it in the air. Nope, he has to throw across. Tolbert retires Cabrera 1 away. No, target field, I guess we'll call it a wall, right? It'll be a wall all the way around at target field, but not a fence.
Yeah, but I think in baseball terms, you know, when you hit a home run, you hit it over the fence. So whether it's a baggy or, you know, a wall, it's still considered in baseball terms a fence. See, in Little League, when you hit a, well, you know, I take it back.
No, but the first baseball games I saw, this was out in Dumont, Minnesota, it was a fence. They put a snow fence. They put a snow fence up out there.
Right.
All the way around the outfield. Now,
you got fences, you got walls, I guess.
Yeah. There's no baggies out there.
No.
And no vampire seats in right field. Fernando Rodney. Tigers have not lost a game this year that they've led after 8 innings. So the task for the Twins here kind of ominous. Two and 1 to Clete Thomas. First plate appearance for Thomas. And another foul ball off of Mauer. He's taken a beating here today, and you wonder whether that will take its toll. He almost certainly will not get any days off here in the final 2 weeks, but 3 night games in Chicago, and Ron Gardenhire was saying just this morning that he expects Mauer to catch all 3. That ball lasered into right field. A solid single for Clete Thomas. And that'll bring up Rayburn. Rayburn hit a home run against Liriano in the 8th. The Tigers added a couple of awfully big runs in the 8th inning. Rayburn entered the game in the 5th for Carlos Guillen when the Twins brought Ron Mahay into the game. It's apparent that the Tigers are going to go here the last couple of weeks and not use Guillen much, if at all, against left-handed pitching.
Well, you mentioned his problems with his right, you know, that right shoulder. He's hitting only 156 against right-handers. Guillen is.
No, and that's,
so that opens the door for Rayburn to get some at-bats, and he's made the most out of them. Hitting his 13th home run a couple innings ago.
Chopper left side. Tolbert scoops the second hop and throws the first 2 down. Well, it's a bigger factor than you might think. The Tigers, as we said, are flying to Cleveland after the game. They'll spend an off day there and then open up a 3-game series Tuesday at Progressive Field, and they'll face Aaron Laffey, a left-hander. So unless Jim Leland changes course here, veteran Carlos Guillen probably is not going to start that game. 2 down, and Brandon Inge, the hitter. Inge drew a walk against Liriano and then later scored on Polanco's fly ball. Whoever wins the Central, whether it's Detroit Minnesota or even Chicago. Whoever wins is going to get the Yankees in the first round of the playoffs. That is all but certain. And neither team has done very well at Yankee Stadium, where that series would start. And Hinge hit in the back, and he'll take first base.
Keppel trying to come in with that fastball, got it too far inside. And for Hinge, that's the 17th time he's been plunked this year.
Right around the tailbone. Here's Laird, 3 productive plate appearances in his last 3. Big leadoff walk in the 5th against Scott Baker, and that's where the game started turning south for the Twins. Baker was moving along pretty good through 4, but he walked the number 8 hitter, gave up a single to the number 9 hitter, and before Baker and the Twins, because Baker didn't survive the 5th, before they could wrap up the inning, the Tigers had taken the lead. 1 strike here to Laird, and now 2. His homestand started with the Twins 5.5 games back. And over the course of the homestand, Twins have, at the very least, cut that Detroit lead in half. One and 2 to Laird. Another 1-2 pitch. Fly ball right field. And Kubel tracks it and catches it. Twins have some coming back to do. It's a 4-run Tiger lead as they hope to still sweep for the Tigers. There's a 1/9 inning comeback.
Little rally caps
Left in there that last night or yesterday. It was an 8th inning comeback. The Tigers have never lost a game that they've led after 8 innings. Their record is 65-0. And the guy primarily responsible for that is their closer, who, even if he didn't smoke already, would have turned Jim Leyland into a smoker. Creates a little stress out there, gives up some runners and some runs, but he's done a good job this year as the Tiger closer.
Well, Fernando Rodney, 34 walks in 65 innings. Not a safe situation, but it is for the Tigers as they try to win this final game against the Twins. Rodney with a very good fastball in the mid-90s, hard slider, and a very good changeup.
Missing high, I guess, with a fastball to Delman Young. And driving the next one down around the knees. Young driving a double to lead off the fourth. He came around to score, and the Twins haven't scored since. Haven't threatened since. He's rare for a closer, and he's got 2 pitches, fastball and a changeup. He doesn't spin the ball much at all.
Rodney, 32 years old, from the Dominican Republic, in his 7th season with the Tigers.
Two and two. Nothing but fastballs so far to Young. Harris, Tolbert will follow. Bounce to the first baseman. Cabrera goes to the bag for the first out. Verizon player of the game, the guy who did such a good job in the 2 spot from their lineup today, Placido Polanco.
Yeah, you see the 3 RBI. He scored a run. They had a very good series, 6-4-11. Polanco, a base hit in his first at bat, and then the big 2-run base hit in the 3-run 5th for the Tigers, and the sacrifice fly RBI in the 8th.
Jose Morales will come off the bench, try to start something for the Twins against Rodney, and he takes ball 1. Morales has been the designated hitter for the Twins, and right now a pinch hitter in a key spot. Two and 0.
Morales has done a good job as a pinch hitter, 6 hits in 14 at bats. Laird out to talk to his right-hander. Rodney last year 13 saves for the Tigers. This year 33.
Three and 0 with Tolbert on deck. Twins hoping to wrap the lineup around and get Mauer and Kubel back to the plate here, but a lot has to happen before that can happen. Twins running out of outs here in the 9th. 3 and 1. Morales draws a walk. 1, 2, 3 innings seem rare when Rodney's on the mound. That's true of a lot of closers, but it's been one of those years for him where if they hand him a 2-run lead, he gives 1 back. If they hand him a 3-run lead, he gives 2 back.
I think the Tigers are just happy that he's been healthy all season long.
Yeah.
He's been on a disabled list 9 times since he first came up to the Detroit Tigers in 2002. You know, it was he and Zol Zamaya that were supposed to be the 2 hard throwers out of that bullpen.
Tolbert takes a strike. He's got a pair of hits today, both of them to center field. could end the game. Tolbert beat it out. So the game's still alive, but the Twins are down to their last out. Tolbert grounding one to short, 2 away.
Yeah, the hustle of Tolbert right there, staying out of the double play.
So Punto will try to keep the game alive. Punto with a walk. RBI single, reached on a fielder's choice in the 7th. Nobody holding on Tolbert, so if he wants to go to second, they'll let him.
There's that changeup right there.
2 strikes. Foul. Punto trying to set up Span for a 9th inning at bat. Twins down to their last strike. Chopper to second. And the Tigers push the Twins back to 3 games now. And the Twins will try to make up some ground on the road.